wrestling card collectors, welcome to another edition of WTCtv. I am your host once again, as always, and I think I'm the only one actually. It's my channel, so yeah, of course I am Tony, Bella, me. And today I am talking with a representative of Steel City Collectibles, Mr. Steve Rose. How are you today, sir?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
You know, just living the dream here, and still warm Arizona weather here. So
yeah, not in Pennsylvania.
Is it snowing there yet?
We got a little bit here and there, but nothing major yet. So
I used to do, and I just did it a few months back, but I used to do 3 times a year, every year, Steel City Collectibles. Steel City Con, I'm sorry. Over in Novi, I think it is. No, not Novi. It's in Monroeville.
Yep.
Monroeville. I'm thinking Detroit. Sorry.
They're here next weekend.
Yep.
And for wrestling, they have Kane, JBL, Sammy Guevara, Ty Conti, and Dustin Rhodes. So
wow,
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, Scott, represents a good number of those wrestler guys. Like, that's a good dude, and he's got a good roster of people. But I was just there in August with Kurt Angle.
I missed that one. I went to the one before it, met Britt Baker.
She was actually there the same weekend.
Yeah, she was a late addition that weekend.
Yeah, she came in on Sunday only, I think. And, you know, Kurt and I only do Saturday appearances. So on that day, it was like Kurt, Mick Foley, Miro, and Orange Cassidy, I think, was there.
Yeah.
It was a good show. So, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about cards for darn sakes. And what explain to people, what is it that you do for Steel City Collectibles?
So I'm a breaker. So basically I create group breaks. It's a way for people to get into things cheaper, is the way I like to say it. You know, a lot of like high-end products, you know, flawless national treasures and stuff. It's a way to get into those products without having to buy a whole box. So you can do random card, you know, random pack, whatever. And it just allows people different ways to get into the different products without having to step up and buy the whole box.
It feels like almost like in a gambling sense as well, too. Like I'm putting a little bit of money down, so I got hoping I get a hit, but if I don't and I bust, I'm not into it for very much.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it, because I mean, you know, there's always that hit or miss. All of us collectors know that, you know, every box comes with that risk. So I mean, for me personally, that's how I like to do bigger money products, is go with the random hit, or, you know, something where I'm gonna get something, but I don't have to spring for the whole box myself. So.
Well, and speaking of products like that, our forte obviously is we're wrestlingtradingcards.com is wrestling cards. Do you guys do a lot for any, you know, breaks on wrestling?
You know what, I have lately I haven't done as many wrestling breaks. Transcendent, of course, just came out. We just did one of those.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I like to do like Undisputed, some of those. I try to stick to more that than you know, there's like women's division, NXT and stuff, where it's a lot of base cards without a whole lot of hits. I try to stay away from those in the break room. I mean, a lot of the break customers just want to see hits.
Of course.
So I try to stick to the products that are more hit based.
So you probably didn't break any Topps Chrome then, the 2021 Chrome.
I did not. Another breaker that we have did, you know, a couple boxes of random packs that way.
Okay.
I like Undisputed. The old format for NXT, I think it was 2018, where it was 10 packs, 10 hits. That was a fun one to break.
So clearly, obviously, a box or a product that offers a lot of more hits per box is something you guys are more geared towards.
That's what I try to go towards, more towards hits.
Oh, interesting. So are those then, is that going to be the product that seems to get the most requests for when it comes to people who want to place orders through Steel City Collectibles?
Do you mean like for boxes or
for boxes? I mean, do the box breaks translate into actual box sales too, as far as popularity?
I mean, if I'm running breaks and we're continuously pulling a lot of good cards, you'll see that number start to shoot up, where people are less tentative about, you know, worrying about spending for the box, because they see what they can pull. So that'll kind of get things going for box orders. But there's also things that are just popular. Like you said, Topps Chrome, Topps Finest was popular, fully loaded. You know,
Yeah,
people
Fully
just
Low was
order
great
those
because
by the
that was
case.
another one. It's like it's a one card per pack, right? And per
Yeah,
box, basically what it
yeah,
was. And each one was a hit.
yeah. So
Yeah.
stuff like that, is definitely stuff we like to showcase.
What do you got? What are your guys' thoughts coming up right now with all the new, with, Topps leaving? I mean, I don't want to get too much into the Panini side just yet, but, Topps is still planning on, what we hear is still planning on to release their schedule between now and sometime. I mean, their licensing really ends at the end of the year. I'm assuming there's a grace period of some kind for them to
Yeah,
push stuff
I
out.
I think I've read they have until I think it's January or February, because I know Panini's shooting for WrestleMania weekend or
That's,
WrestleMania week for their first release.
which is April,
So yeah, so
end of March,
I'm
beginning of April. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm pretty sure Topps has the first few months of next year to get everything out. I mean, I know they've given us a lot of release dates, for this month, but they still have some stuff not quite scheduled for release.
And it keeps getting pushed back anyways. And the same thing is going on with Upper Deck and AEW too. We just got it pushed back to New Year's Eve now.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, all the card companies still having trouble getting into the buildings to produce the cards
Yeah.
from the pandemic and everything. So
It's a shortage. We have I mean, the talk is really because there's a shortage of supplies, and there's only so
yeah,
many, there's only so many trees being cut down right now. It's like that, being able to make it into cards. And then packaging is another, problem as well. So
yeah.
things just getting pushed back, and pushed back. So I'm thinking now, I mean, we'll go a little bit into Panini route. So I'm thinking that I know they're planning on having it around WrestleMania, but I got to think and believe that's going to be pushed back as well.
I don't know. I mean, if they're really geared up towards that, they might be producing already for all we know. They might have that already underway. I don't know if they're allowed to produce yet or if they have to wait till January to
I
start.
mean,
But
most basic card designs, from my history going back to when, Comic Images used to make, had the WWF license back then. Anywhere from 6 months to a year of planning goes into actually making even a base set or a card release. So I mean, by the time April rolls around, they wouldn't even had the license for, only not even half a year at that point.
yeah,
So
I mean,
I have to assume that unless they've got this, wonder team out there that's going to produce this stuff and have their own access to their own, print supplies and things of that nature. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
it just seems like every company, I mean, Upper Deck across the board, push back hockey, even got rid of and just canceled actual
yeah. They canceled a
releases.
couple products.
So I just think that most companies are going to kind of suffer from this, I think, and we can expect that even in the non-sport world, you're going to get Rittenhouse and things like that. Probably going to have to push and delay things as well, too. I mean, you guys deal everything besides just sports. You guys deal with the non-sport stuff too, right? So you guys probably still do Rittenhouse
A lot
stuff.
of it, yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, my only experience with Steel City is that last year I did order and I got a box of the Undisputed from you guys
Okay.
before my local card shop actually had it, and I got one from them as well. But I'm not one to usually open and buy boxes, and even though I got a couple back there, but that's just for show.
Yeah,
um,
I do buy a lot, but it's yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same way with me. I pick my spots, here
yeah,
and there.
same here. And if I buy anything or get any boxes to open, it's usually for content for this program here, and let people kind of buy and do kind of our own little box breaks around here, so like that. But what has been a popular stuff? Like, what's been the hardest thing for you guys to keep in stock and wrestling wise? I mean, obviously, this take Transcendent out of the picture. That's kind of like limited to only 50 releases anyway. So I
Yeah,
mean,
you only get a couple of those. Really undisputed stuff to keep. I mean, it comes in. It's usually only there maybe a week or two, and then we're done, and then we're trying to get more. I know the Leaf wrestling products.
oh yeah, Relief as well.
The 2020 was really tough to keep in, and I was a big fan of those myself as well. They were really tough to keep in stock, and then to get back in stock. Yeah, they're pretty popular. But
What would be a reason for that, though, from your
uh,
guys' standpoint?
I think because they had a lot of New Japan and like Kenny Omega and those guys before AEW's release, so it was a way to get a lot of this. I think Hangman even had an autograph in that set too.
Nice.
So you could get different people. It wasn't just the WWE guys. You could get everybody else too.
But Leaf's
So
kind of been known for doing that anyways. They've always kind of mix and get some oddball characters or some really hard to find guys that have never signed before, especially
yeah,
here stateside with they seem to have a relationship with New Japan and things like that over there.
Mhm.
So they get a lot of great deals or talent to sign for their product. So I mean, that's always been a selling point, I think, for Leaf stuff as it is.
Yeah. I just saw they have that new product coming out, Leaf Brilliant, I think. think it's an
Yeah.
online exclusive for them. They're like teasing some of the hits, and the one, it was 4 autographs. It
That
was,
quad of Hogan,
yeah,
Flair, and
Austin and Omega, I think was the 4.
yeah, Austin and Omega. It's like people were kind of making fun, like, which one doesn't belong here, kind of thing. It's just like,
Yeah,
uh,
I think because Omega wrestled so much in Japan that people aren't really used to his style. But I mean, Kenny Omega's right up there with anybody else, in
I
ring
used to
work.
watch him wrestle when he wrestled for PWG a lot too, because I'm a SoCal boy, so I'm in Arizona now. But yeah, I mean, he was just fun to watch. Period. So very
I think it
entertaining.
was like the second or third AEW show that was in Pittsburgh, and a couple of my buddies and I was going, and the one has followed Kenny Omega's whole career. He's a big fan. He's like, no, if you haven't watched Kenny, like you're going to be in for a treat here. So
And did he deliver?
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because I remember I'd been hearing about it for a few years about this guy called the American Dragon, and then it might have been like in 2007 or 2008, I think it was. And I used to go to this convention in North Carolina. I think it was called the NWA Legends Fan Fest, and so we're there for the whole weekend and going for the first night of wrestling events. And here he comes out and he wrestles, and I go, anything special? And then night number 2, he wrestled again. I'm like, oh, now I see, because he was like, guess he was just an off night the first night. I don't know, but it was fun to watch. Yeah, it's always fun when you hear about somebody who's a big up and coming star, and then you see him actually perform live, and you go, oh, I get it.
Yeah, that's my wife had never been to a wrestling event, so the last time they was here was the first Rampage show, whenever Christian took the TNA title from Omega, and we're watching it, and whenever the ref counted to 3, that place went nuts. And she's like, "Oh, this is why you like doing this." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, you just
it's different there than it is on TV for sure."
So do you let's translate that into your box breaking stuff like that. Do you prefer or enjoy opening up wrestling product more than you would say other products, or are you also a equally as big a fan of other products?
I'm a huge football fan too,
Okay.
so for me, they're both kind of the same. Obviously, I play a lot of fantasy sports, so whenever I do Bowman and stuff, I kind of have a good idea of the prospects for baseball, so I get kind of interested in those. Um, yeah, I mean, I get pretty excited about just about anything because you never know. I mean, we've pulled cards valued at a couple $100,000, and whenever you pull
Wow.
something like that, it's like, it's hard not to get excited about something like that.
Do you have any knowledge of the process of ordering? Because you guys are not just a distribution center, you guys are also a retailer in its sense as well. So when you guys go to put orders in and allocate product, what is that process kind of like? Ordering from, say, do you guys order direct from Tops?
Yeah, we have we do the direct order, but as far as what we get to us, that always changes. I guess it's based on their
I mean, if you
overall
guys
how
aren't
much they
buying
make.
from Tops, I mean, who the hell are you buying from?
We buy from everybody. We do a lot of trades with other retailers too.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Certain retailers just might, they might see a product coming out and figure we're gonna have trouble moving this one, and we might, have a lot of success moving that one. So we'll trade something off. But yeah, I mean, for what we're gonna get in, how many cases we get from Tops or whatever, those numbers always change. So it's hard to say in advance of a product like, oh, we're gonna have this much, and it's safe because, I mean, like we just said, with the problem with everything they're doing, making cards, I mean, they're canceling products.
So with like the
Knowing what
Tops
you're gonna get
Chrome,
in stuff.
like Tops Chrome, you guys had probably a good amount of cases of Tops Chrome when it came out.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact number, but I know we
Well, I
got
mean,
a good bit in.
but compared to that, say like to something from Panini or something from of other sports, like what's the ratio from like wrestling perspective to football, or wrestling compared to baseball? Like how much? I mean, because they clearly print way more of other products besides
Yeah.
wrestling. So I'm curious to know like how many cases on average you guys would probably carry for something like that.
I'm not quite sure the average number, honestly. I think it's all pretty much the same. It's just based on how much they produce overall.
Sure.
They're going to allocate a certain percentage to everybody. So,
You guys ever have a problem, like say, like let's just use Topps Chrome again as an example? It's the last WWE released product here in the States, anyways. Um, do you guys ever have issues where they end up saying, "Well, I know you ordered 10 cases, but I'm only sending you 2"?
yeah, we've had some issues with that. I mean, I think that rings throughout the hobby to everybody. I don't think they just cut any certain people or anything. I think they kind of try to be fair about that with who they cut in allocation. But
I mean, but you guys are one of the major players too. I mean, there's you and it's a Dave and Adams like that, or I don't order from anybody else. It's so long since I've ordered things. I mean, you guys are a pretty big organization. You would think that like, well, we're going to cut some from these guys over here instead of Steel City.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know how they determine. I don't think our owners know how they determine what gets allocated where. They just get told, hey, this is what you're getting, and that's what we get.
And you guys are a very popular source for people to dig pre-orders from us like that. And it could not be more evident than what has happened with the AEW product that's coming out from Upper Deck.
Yeah.
Now, you guys got, you took pre-orders on stuff, and then it was at one price, then it jumped, and then it jumped even again and again. And I know it's kind of upset a lot of people going, hey, you were $100 a box at one point. Now you're $200 a box. Who makes a determination? How do you guys decide that we're going to jack up the price?
It basically goes on what we have to pay to replace it. So it came out and it was way hotter than I think we even anticipated.
There's been nothing like this ever in wrestling cards.
Ever. No. So, we sell out of what we think we're going to get really early. And then it goes back to a reorder from Upper Deck and their price might go up. We might have other companies that have, an allotted allocation already that they're not going to they're not going to sell, and they realize they're not going to sell it for whatever reason.
That seems highly unlikely with this product though.
Yeah, and then they'll sell to us.
Anybody who's had this product, any of the major guys out there, they've all been sold out like sometimes within minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know. I think right now we're at $199.95 for a box.
Yep,
and they're still just pre-orders are coming through. So
people are getting desperate for trying to find a box. They want it in. I'm very fortunate. I'm locked in at the $99 price, and I got a case of it. I haven't bought a case of anything in years, but I'm excited about it. And this is coming from a guy who hasn't watched a single episode of the product. I digest wrestling just like I do Sports Center. So I'm just kind of like, I get all the highlights. Social media takes care of that for me. So I just, but the buzz is there, and I think it's going to be interesting to do maybe my own box breaks. I might sit on a box or two just for the long term, because I think it's going to go up in value probably. Who knows? But it's kind of incredible to see that it starts at one price and goes to, and I know there's a lot of variables like you just explained, but I know a lot of people were complaining about it, going like, it's not just Steel City Collectibles, it's everybody out there kind of like jacking that price up. It's like, why are you doing that? But I guess they don't realize that if you sell out at a certain price, I got to go back to the manufacturer. Manufacturer says, maybe we can ask for more money. It's like that, and they come to you so, hey guys, stop pointing a finger at the distribution level, go right to the manufacturer. I don't know. No, nothing against you guys. Nothing against the manufacturer. I don't want them getting on me. I'd like to have them on one day too. But it's just, again, how do you rate this buzz for AEW product compared to other stuff?
Honestly, I'm a huge AEW fan, but I was kind of shocked because I wasn't too thrilled personally with the way they set it up. Whenever there's one autograph every 4 boxes. Yeah. I was like, oh man, they really had something there where I collect mostly hits. I'm not a set collector or anything. So for me, I was like, that's kind of like a turnoff for me. And I was like, I wonder how that's going to go throughout the community, not giving a lot of autographs out. Yeah. And then it just took off. I was like, I guess not many people think the same way I do. So.
Yeah, they're looking for rookies, which is so hard to define in wrestling.
It's always weird in wrestling too. Like, I think it was women's division 2018 with the Ronda Rousey rookie cards, the rookie logo or whatever. You would think those would be like really hot. Like in another sport, that would be huge. But in wrestling, rookie cards just don't carry that same buzz.
It depends. You're right to a certain degree, I think, but it depends on the talent too. Like if, we had stuff back in the mid 90s or late 90s when The Rock was coming up, and you throw that RC logo on something that hits like that. Look what his value would be right now.
Look at the Panini stickers from 97.
Sure. Yeah.
They're crazy. There's no rookie logo, but their first thing is Rocky Maivia or whatever.
Sure.
Those things are nuts.
Well, it's come down drastically in price. The first one hit over 30,000 in that PSA 10. You can't even get a quarter of that right now for a PSA 10. So, the market obviously across the board is kind of, cooled down. But as we've said before many times in this episode and other podcasts that we, take part in, new benchmarks have been made, new floor levels have been established that things won't go back to the way they used to be anyways. So,
Yeah, I
the
think
days
that's
of someone being $100 card is now trading at, $500 to $1,000. Yeah, it's not going to go back to $100 again. It's
mm-mm.
just not going that level. But yeah, it's just interesting when it comes to the AEW product and the buzz that's going on about this. So I was just kind of curious from your standpoint, being someone who's there, I guess, in the warehouse, all the time, doing stuff there. You see what comes and goes and what comes and goes. And do you guys sit on a lot of back order stuff? Like, do you guys have a lot of product that sits from older products that's sitting there still?
We do buy a lot of older product from other companies too. So I mean, if you look on our website, we have tons of product, ranging from all years. It's not just new stuff. I know a lot of other people kind of focus on newer stuff and move it
Sure.
fast. Um, Usually if stuff gets older, we'll buy that and bring it in. Yeah, I mean we have a ton of stuff in the warehouse, just all kinds of different years. I wish we had more wrestling in that aspect for the back stuff, just as
Sure.
a fan myself. But it's tough to come by. A lot of that stuff's not really out there too much anymore.
Well, because they don't produce as much as they do other sports. That's
Mm-mm.
already a factor right there. You're already talking about a scarcity level that's because
Yeah.
of production. Then you start going even back to, like, it's hard to find a sealed box of old Fleer product from the WWE stuff. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's crazy to me to see people like spending a big money on like an Ultimate Diva box, knowing what I know is that half that stuff is just redemption. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
And it's just but you get stuff like Royal Rumble from 2002 from Fleer. I mean, people are clamoring for that because they want that John Cena rookie. That it's got Brock Lesnar rookie, Batista rookie, Randy Orton rookie. It's a good class right there. But you had 3 releases that came out that year. Fleer traditionally put out 3, sometimes maybe 4 releases in a year for wrestling. So, I mean, you had a whole year's worth of like John Cena and Randy Orton and things like that came out that year. So that's the one everybody kind of gravitated towards because, the market dictates what's going to be the hot stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, how excited are you personally? And also, do you think that Steel City is, about getting Panini now as a license for WWE?
Uh as far as Steel City, I don't think for
Changes
us it
it.
really makes a difference much. Um Personally, I'm a big fan of Panini. I mean, I like the Topps releases too, like I said, like the Undisputed and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of those, but looking at from what we're gonna get in the future, I mean, Immaculate probably somewhere down the line, Select is always
Select.
nice. They're gonna kick off with Prism.
Yep.
Prism's always hot. I mean, look at what it did for UFC. Prism just went crazy.
But has
Um,
has UFC's product since then kind of gone down a little bit though, or is it, it's not
yeah,
holding the same value?
no, they've dipped from whenever they first come out. But if I like to kind of track stuff on eBay, to try to see what's hot or whatnot for my breaks,
Mm-hmm.
to see what is going to be able to sell. A lot of the singles still move well, like Conor McGregor and those guys. So I mean, the singles still do well, and I think it's going to be the same way with WWE. A lot of those guys like Roman Reigns, I mean, his stuff's
Absolutely.
starting to climb right now, pretty good. And
Finally.
yeah, oh, well, the gimmick he has right now is what fans have wanted for years.
Sure.
So, it's his stuff starting to climb. I think once we start seeing the first Prism card of him, because even from other sports, Tom Brady's first Prism's like 2012. So it's not a rookie card. It's 13 years into his career, but it still sells really high because it's
It's
the first Prism card.
crazy to me. It's like, 2012. It's 13 years into his career,
Yeah.
and he's still playing. I mean, we're 2021. It's
We might be
incredible.
gone and he might still be winning Super Bowls.
Yeah, I
But
think I think eventually it's going to come down to like, when the planet, all it's going to ever outlive everything is going to be cockroaches, Keith Richards, and Tom Brady. That's how it's going to end up be probably.
every time somebody says Father Time's undefeated, they go,
Yeah.
nope.
Nope.
Tom
Nope.
Brady gave him his first loss.
That's right.
So,
Don't give him less than 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, man, because he'll come back and kick Father Time's ass. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Prism's going to be the first one here. I mean, do you guys have any idea at all on what you guys looking at from a opening, pre-sale price point?
no, I was actually talking with our managers about that because, a lot of people are worried that, I see that a lot on social media. People are worried about what it's going to do because the Topps boxes a lot of times stay right around $100. I think
Somewhere around.
Chrome's
Yep.
115 right now.
Yeah.
So like it's all basically in that area except for the higher end stuff.
Yeah.
And people were worried that, Prism might come out and start at 5, 6, 700. But we really don't know that until we know how much they're going to produce, what the allotment's going to be, what they're going to charge distributors,
Sure.
to pick up the product. So we really have no idea where we're sitting on that right now because Panini's given us no idea on what their plan is. And
Hmm.
without knowing their plan, we're just guessing.
Yeah.
So
Well, everybody's guessing right now, trying to figure out. We're just kind of trying to use models, to other products, and UFC be the closest thing we can probably go towards.
yeah.
And people are like, wow, those are like, $1,000 like within the first week. It's like, what can we expect for WWE? It's like people are complaining, like, I'm going to get priced out. I can't collect anymore because I can't afford that. But I think some of those people need to kind of change the way how they collect a little bit. Maybe if you're a completist or a set collector, yeah, it's going to be a little more difficult for you to put that stuff together. But this is a great time to become, or if you're not already are, a player collector in a sense. I don't collect sets anymore myself. I'm a player collector. I collect only Kurt Angle stuff and Dexter Lumis stuff now. So it's just easier for me. Yeah, I might pay a little more for the singles of people I'm looking for, especially if I want like some parallels or something like that, or
Yeah.
number things. But it's still way more affordable than me trying to buy $1,000 box, because
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not buying
and
$1,000 box.
the thing with Prism too is a lot of it is, like you said, player collecting. People go for the rainbows.
Of course.
So that's huge. Panini has a lot of parallels. So I think people can get different things that they're looking for. I think those boxes are going to do well for people in return. Whenever they come out, whatever price point, I
Sure.
think they're going to have a pretty good return on them. Um, I honestly, I think it's going to be the same way as we was just talking with the AEW Upper Deck. Or it might come out at one price point, and then if it's a low allotment and it's made at a smaller capacity than what they do football or basketball, yeah, I mean those prices might take off.
Yeah, I have
But
no doubt that's going to way it's going to be. I mean, for a global product that WWE is, it's surprising that they don't produce more on the level of even like your lower end of sports cards, if you want to call it
yeah,
that, just because it's a global thing,
mhm.
and they just kind of, again, we're the bastard child of the industry, basically, is how I look at wrestling cards. And the whole point of even having this channel and doing different podcasts that we take part in is just to educate people and let people know that, hey, we're a big growing part of the hobby as well. And there can be money to be made here if you're looking to do that, and there's some really cool stuff to collect if you're just into collecting too. So it's just interesting for me to talk to someone who works from the distribution standpoint, and and the box breaks like that. But I'm assuming you'll probably be doing box breaks too. That's another great way
Oh,
people who have been priced out of buying
absolutely,
boxes can get
yeah.
into getting into wrestling cards
I
from
mean,
Panini.
considering it's the same format, as every other Prism with the 12 packs, 12 cards per pack. They usually run 2 or 3 autographs per pack or per box. I think that'll be a great way for people to get in is through breaks, not just to try to tell people, hey, follow me. But
Yeah.
the not paying a whole box, if it does jump up, you can still buy a pack and a break or whatever. And I mean, there's a lot of different breakers out there. I join breaks with guys in wrestling card groups all the time too. Um, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and getting a random pack break or something like that is a good way to get cards in the Prism set without having to go for the full box. If you want to see what things do, and honestly, that's a great way there to make a lot of money on. If you hit something good in your pack, only paying a 12th of a box,
Yeah.
you could really make out big there.
Oh, of
So,
courh, but you're rolling the dice, man. I mean, that's what
oh,
you're doing. You're rolling
absolutely.
the dice. I mean, I could
It's
end up with a whole bunch of just who knows? I mean, pick a low tier guy. That's probably who I get stuck with. I mean, it's just it's crazy. So I've watched a few breaks. I've actually even done a couple breaks for us on my partner with Zan Morning from we do Worlds Collide, and we've done a couple box breaks there. I think I remember correctly. But they're fun. I get the allure of it, but I've never really been a part of one. I've never actually bought into one. I take that back. I did one recently with Star Stock recently. They did a Topps Chrome. I did one with Star Stock, and I bought it. And of course, my luck, I'm the guy. Everybody before me and after me is getting great hits and this and that. And I got my 4 dud packs, man. Like, there you go. I took care of all the duds for you guys. There you go. So I hope you guys are all happy.
yeah. I did a draft break in Undisputed with a friend of mine that runs breaks, and I think I came up with like the third or the fourth pick. And in that pack, he pulled a, I think it was numbered to 10 Gargano auto,
Oh,
and like a couple. He got some really nice stuff in there. But whenever it got to me, I might have been around 5. Whenever it got to me, I was like, I already have everything here, or it's stuff that I don't collect. Like, man, that's rough because those top ones really go fast.
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I just, I guess my luck isn't very good, so maybe I won't be doing any breaks myself. I don't know, but when the Prism stuff comes out, if there's anybody I want to go after and collect, I guess I might jump in a couple of and hope. I don't know. I
that's
mean,
with Topps women's division. I did a lot of pick your wrestler breaks,
okay.
and I think those do really well too. Where because I mean, honestly, the women sell way higher. That's just normal.
Yep, you sure do.
Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, those kinds of wrestlers. So, those, I think people that don't collect the high ones like that, there's a lot of people that collect, Asuka, um, Charlotte, somewhere in the middle tier. It's another way where you can buy a spot of them, and we're opening up cases at a time. Yeah, you don't always get something for them, but you're also not paying the $800 for the case. You're
Sure.
only paying 50, $60 for that wrestler. So if you don't hit one, you're not out $800. You're out 50, $60.
Yeah, but
So
you're still. I mean, it's chances are you're going to get at least one or two of what you're, buying into. But I mean, it does
especially in
suck.
case
It
breaks.
does suck when you're spending 50, $60. You got nothing but 2 base cards.
Oh yeah, it can be tough. I
It
mean,
can be. It can be. I get it. Yeah.
I mean, we've all bought boxes, regardless of the price, whatever, where the autographs we get or the hits we get are kind of But again, it's a lot easier to spend 50 and only get a couple of cards than to spend all the money and be like,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm not really happy with this. So
Yeah.
I
Because
always tell people, if you're just getting into cards or you just collect certain people, I think breaks are great for that. I mean, I really do.
how
I
often
think a
you
lot
guys?
of
How
people
often are you guys
do that.
doing breaks?
I do them every day from 11 to
Okay.
4
Oh,
weekdays,
okay.
and then we have guys at night from like 6 to like 1 a.m. So
It's crazy. I've noticed that. I didn't really realize that breaks go for so late at night sometimes, which kind of makes sense. With people who work all day, then there are only times in the evening like that. I get it, I guess. But I just was like, wow. I just happened to look on Instagram, and I'm going like, Star Stock is still doing breaks. It's like 11 o'clock my time right here. It's like that. It's got to be they're back east. Something in 1 a.m. Holy crap. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so you guys just constantly breaking stuff open all the times like that. So,
Oh yeah.
um, do you have any idea when you suspect you might get solicitation for the new Prism stuff from Panini?
No, I mean, like you said, it's hard to tell with the shortages and everything. Um, if they're aiming for WrestleMania, hopefully a month or so before that, maybe 2 months before that, we get an idea. But for right now, we have no idea how much they're even going to produce. So
What's a typical time frame usually between a release date and when you guys from the release date? How early from the release date do you guys usually get solicitation?
again, it varies on the products. I mean, some of them they might tell us a couple months in advance. Some of them it might be a couple weeks in advance. So I mean,
And
it's just kind of varies.
that's initial from when it's expected release date. So like, if I remember I put an order in for Topps Heritage, 6, 7 months ago, I think it was like that. And I'm waiting, still waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting because it's been delayed again. So
Yeah.
it's all been delayed for again, any number of reasons like that. But well, it's cool. I mean, learn a little bit about the distribution side. I don't think anything too shocking. People just, some people don't realize how prices are affected by different variables.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and kind of what I suspected, but people who are going to watch or listen to this like that, who didn't know, well, there you go, people. That's kind of what the reasons are sometimes when it comes to, prices increasing, like that. I trust me. The number one thing I got asked to ask you guys was like, how come you keep raising the prices? And it's just, I'm like, well, there's probably a good reason, and I'll let them explain it.
Yeah. I mean, especially restocking it for us is always going to be pricier than the first stock.
Sure.
So whenever we order a second set, it's going to be a little bit higher. And then if we have to order a third set, it goes a little bit higher again. And it's just that way for every distributor.
And do you
Like,
guys find yourself? You ever find yourselves like buying from each other distributors? Like you guys do deals with each other?
Oh yeah, they make
Okay.
trades,
Okay.
sell to each other. They do a lot of that. So
Because we noticed that when the AEW stuff first came out, everybody clamored to, like, I guess there's a 3 or 4 major guys, and you guys are one of them. Going on like, well, I went to Steel City, they're not up yet. I went to they're not up yet. Oh, they're sold out over here. Oh wait, Steel City's up now. Go to them. Go to them. Go to them. So it was. It's just. I don't play that game. I don't run around like, oh well, it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. I don't care. I'm like Pepe Le Pew, man. Just bloop, 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 do my thing. It's like. So it's cool. Yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate your time for this, man. It's like that. And um, when do you have a wrestling break coming up at all soon? A wrestling break at all?
I don't have any scheduled for this weekend at all.
And who decides that, by the way? Who decides that?
Uh,
I'm here to wrap it up, and I'm ready to go for more. Who decides the breaks?
the breakers. I mean, we pretty much get free reign to break whatever product we want. So if customers send us an email or even come into the chat room, we're live on YouTube, Instagram. Chris does Instagram and Twitch. Tyler and I do YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Guys will just come in and tell us, hey, do you have any of this you could throw up, and we'll put up breaks of it and see how it goes. But yeah.
So there you go, guys. If you guys want to see some more wrestling box breaks, case breaks, whatever, message these guys. Tell them you want more. Tell them you
Absolutely.
want more breaks, even if it's not the undisputed or transcendence like that. Say, hey, I want to see some Topps Chrome, or if the new Heritage comes out, say, I want to buy into some stuff from the top. Just send it to them, man. These guys will break
Absolutely.
whatever the hell you want to break. I mean,
Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, you guys are looking because, again, like you said, people want to see those hits. They want to get excited about seeing the hits. But if people say, hey, I want to buy in, it's a cheap way, like you said, for me to get into it. I'm new to it, whatever it is. I want to see some breaks. I want to buy in some breaks. Would you please open some Topps Heritage? Hit these guys up, man. Hit Steel City Collectibles up and tell them you want to see some more breaks.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to say no to any product. I mean, if we have a way to move it, we'll move it. So.
Of course, that's what any great American company wants to do, man. Profit, profit, profits.
I'm a salesman, so
yeah, there you go. Well, Steve, I do appreciate your time. Thank you for making the time to come out and talk to us a little bit about some of the stuff at Steel City Collectibles, what you do, and that's all I got for you, man. Let everybody know where they can reach Steel City Collectibles, or even you personally. You've got stuff that you're looking to collect.
Yeah, I mean, steelcitycollectibles.com. There's a tab right at the top of the screen to go to the break room. You can see everything that's scheduled to come up. There's links right there to go watch each individual breaker. Always breaks being listed all the time. I mean, guys are live right now, Chris and Tyler, and they'll be posting breaks as they're running breaks. So
I had a weird
updated.
thought in my head going like, oh yeah, so just go up there, click on, and you can see which name and see everybody's breakers like that, and just pick who you want to go in break room. So I'm like, that just sounds very, pick your girl, just whichever one you want. It's like that, it's like, it just sounds very like, I'm not going to go there. So, and where can they get a hold of you specifically? I'm assuming that you still buy, sell, collect, trade, things like that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where can they find you?
Well,
or you can say, I don't want to do that. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
No, you can email me directly. s.rose@steelcitycollectibles.com. Yeah, I'm always looking. I mean, I'm a collector. So, but yeah, I mean, like you said, if people want to see breaks, send me an email. Let me know what you want to see. If you want to do random packs, you want to do by the wrestler, however you want to do it. We'll figure it out. We'll get it going for more people to join.
Awesome, man. Well, again, third time I'm going to say it. Thank you for your time.
One last thing.
Sure.
I do have a coupon code for people.
Oh, you do have a coupon. I do remember this. I totally forgot. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I had it, and now I got to find it.
That's okay, man. So for us, anybody looking for more information about wrestling cards, because you're king of the spot right here, man. WrestlingTradingCards.com. Everything you want to know about the wrestling trading card world, as far as what came in a set, what card numbers are, what you're looking for, what you got. We do our best. We've been doing it for over 20 years now. Officially our 20th anniversary next year. You can come and check out the checklist. If you're looking to contact us anyway, all of our social media is on the bottom of every page on the website. If you go to Twitter, which seems to be the most active place for the wrestling card community, it seems, You want to go on Twitter, check us out there. We have a link tree up there that has all of our, links to everything that we do. But just, like, share, comment, complain, bitch, whatever you want to do about this stuff. Just, engage. Just talk about wrestling cards. Let's educate the market. Let's show them what a fun, great community that we have. So like that. But
Yeah,
you got that coupon code?
I do. Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm live every weekday, 11 to 4 on YouTube, the Steel City Break Room page. You can pop in, say hello. We talk about wrestling a lot during my breaks, whether I'm breaking football or whatever. Like if you look at my breaks from I think yesterday, which would have been the second, I mean, I'm breaking football XR that just came out, but the guys are typing in the chat about their Mount Rushmores of wrestling, so we're all arguing back and forth on that while I'm opening football cards. So I'm definitely a big wrestling fan that loves to have those debates. But my breaks on the website, they're gonna have my name in them, Steve. Each breaker, it's in the title who it is. This coupon code is good for any break order over $50 that has my name in the title, and it's just Steve and the number 5.
Steve
so
5.
STEVE 5.
All right. So there's 4 other better codes than yours. All right.
Maybe,
cool,
I don't know.
Yeah. If you guys want to do some box breaks like that, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's baseball, football, basketball, you prefer it being wrestling, of course, but whatever you want, use that special code right there, and you get something special out of it, like Steve here said. So, and with that, guys, I say until next time, we'll talk to you later. How's that, man?
All right, sounds good.
All right, we're out.